You're listening to the Game Tenants Podcast.
What's up, and welcome to the Game Tenants Podcast, the failed adventures of two gamers and their quest for Gamecast stardom.
AKA worthlessly lazy, but so game crazy.
This is episode 89, and I am Church of the Game Grinder, and as always, joined by my excellent co-host, Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming.
Hey, what the hell's up? Motherfuckers.
Lots going on. We've got a few things to talk about this time.
Yeah, and hopefully we are on the same level of volume.
Yeah, I apologize to everybody. I really was I didn't want to upload that because it just, I mean, the podcast, topic-wise was fine, but I think it sounded terrible. So I apologize.
Because you could hear my voice is what you're trying to say. But okay, I agree. My voice is terrible and should definitely be the lower of the two volumes.
It's not what I said.
That's what I said. I said it.
But there's no effective way to get a good balance because you're just so much louder. So like I said, like we were talking before, if you made it so you could hear me, then it was like blowing out the speakers with Jason.
It's using my Dragonborn voice.
Yeah.
Damn. Sorry, everybody's ears. Hopefully I'm almost on mute this time and you can barely hear me.
Well, we're trying a different service. We've been struggling ever since Hangouts stopped doing the YouTube thing, which is incredibly frustrating.
Hangouts fucked us up.
Yeah, so I've been using this clean feed, but it's not the easiest to figure out levels. Although I would kind of put some of the blame. Well, I mean, I put all the blame in the last episode because I noticed my little bar was way lower, and I just was like, oh, it sounds fine, but I always gotta remember that I plugged my headphones into my speakers, which have a volume, so I probably just turned it down, so you sounded fine as I was listening to you, but obviously it wasn't recording.
Plug those headphones into your ass.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, so now we're trying StreamYard, so hopefully this is it.
Hopefully this is our home forever, our forever home.
Yeah, don't
like adopted puppies.
Yeah.
God damn, I just shut that conversation down. Just hear that energy drop for both. Damn, you're talking about lost puppies? Aw.
Right?
Sad. Yeah, anyway, so that being said, why don't we get right into our retro game highlight?
Yeah. So last time you talked about Nightmare Creatures.
Fuck yeah, I did. Want to talk about it again? I could talk about it again. It was enjoyable.
Could. But I think we'll talk about something different this time. And
okay,
I believe I'm 99% sure I haven't talked about this as a retro game highlight, or at least I couldn't find it in my drafts. So we're going to talk about it this time. Maybe again. I don't know.
Do it.
Bushido Blade for the PlayStation 1.
Shit, yeah.
This was one of my kind of favorite eras in games, especially with Squaresoft. I loved everything Squaresoft was doing. And the PlayStation 1, they tried a lot of different things. Not of all of them were great, but they're all, I thought, interesting at least. And Bushido Blade was a very unique fighting game that Squaresoft did.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically you play as samurai or ninja, and it tries to be realistic. So basically it could potentially be one hit kills. If you get chopped, you get chopped with a sword, you're probably going to die. Or if they hit your arm, your arm goes limp and then you can only fight left-handed or one-handed. Or if they chop your leg, you'd be
stroke blade if it puts your arm to sleep. Tranked my arm. Yeah.
But no, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was a fun game. My friends and I played it quite a bit.
You actually hooked me up with a disc-only copy I still have to find a case for.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Yeah. I say if anybody hasn't played it, it's not an expensive game. It's unique. It's a PlayStation 1 game, so you got to understand that it's a little blocky and whatnot. But I think the premise is fun, but I can kind of get why it didn't catch on because, I mean, you can kill a dude within seconds sometimes.
I don't know. Those UFC games seem to have caught on, and you can knock a motherfucker out in like one punch on there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I assume.
No, Bushido Blade is cool. They had made a sequel too.
I mean, out of those two things, I definitely pick Bushido Blade.
Yeah, for sure. And Bushido Blade 2 is cool too. They have some nice little enhancements, and it could be a frustrating game if you play with somebody who always just immediately throws a throwing knife that can kill you.
Shit.
But my brother did every time.
You gotta distract him and hit him in the eyes with some pocket sand before he does that shit.
Yeah, right.
Pocket sand, shisha.
But yeah, Bushido Blade, cool game.
Sweet. Did they make a second one?
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
I think I was thinking about it when you said it, so then it canceled out you saying it with me going, I think they did.
It's pretty much Bushido Blade 2 is what you'd expect from a sequel. More characters, looks a little better, a few additional gameplay mechanics and whatnot, but basically the same thing.
New shirts.
Sure.
That's all it's all about.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
pretty cool.
I kind of want to play it now. You cut this short. I want to go play that. Anyway, since the last episode, you've been pretty busy.
Yes. I think I've had a pretty fun couple weeks. I'd mentioned last time that I was going to the Nier Orchestra Concert 12,018, that's the name of it. And so I drove from the Twin Cities in Minnesota to Milwaukee and met up with It's Rocket Sauce. And then me and him drove down to Chicago to meet up with Chris, the old-ass retro gamer. And we went to a really cool burger bar that had like a big focus on metal, like blasting metal music. They had like pictures of albums and a couple like posters, and all the burgers were named after metal bands and stuff.
You're breaking my fucking heart here, dude. So you're telling me all my friends all hung out together, ate burgers, which is like my favorite thing. Listen to metal, which is like my favorite thing. Went to a video game concert, which is like my favorite thing. All on my birthday.
Yeah. It wasn't your birthday, though.
It wasn't. It felt like it.
But yeah, so we went to the Nier Orchestra Concert. That it's essentially a live tour that they're doing, very similar to the Final Fantasy Distant Worlds concert. The US tour actually has the same conductor that I always forget his name. It's Arnie something.
Schwartzy?
Arnie guy, yeah. And they played half the show was music from the original Nier, and then the second half was music from Nier Automata. It was pretty long. I'd say I'm not sure how long a concert was actually. An hour and a half, 2 hours maybe.
You just fucking blitzed.
No, I was
I'm just
really into it. It was great. And what was also cool was the actual original composer from the game made an appearance, came out, and he talked a little bit. He had a translator with him. Kind of feel bad for the translator. She seemed, I don't know if she was new or if she was overwhelmed, but it really seemed like she was struggling to keep up with what he was saying and then translating it too. So she was like, And then she'd say the line, and then like lots of but I give her credit.
Bad credit.
I mean, she did her job.
Yeah.
I can't translate Japanese, that's for sure. On the
She
fly.
couldn't either. Where she's just like assuming what he said.
She
It looks like she's like, I don't even know Japanese. I don't know how I got this job. She's just like, probably thanks for coming. It means a lot. I
well,
enjoy sushi.
I would have thought that maybe like they would have kind of been pre-planned.
Yeah.
What I'd say, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad it wasn't, because it just makes it like kind of more legit.
Yeah.
He's talking what's on his mind at the time, and I think that was kind of fun. But what was also super awesome was that Yoko Taro, the director of the game, the guy who made the games, he was there too. Had his big helmet on. The Emil helmet, and then I can't remember who the other guy was. I think he was the producer.
He did not have a helmet,
but Yoko Taro talked. They put the microphone up to the helmet, and you could, he had the echo and everything. I thought that was humorous, and so did everybody else. And I get, that's kind of part of the gag. And then also Emmy Evans, who did a lot of the vocals for Nier Automata, she actually did 2 songs, so that was pretty cool. They weren't the weight of the world song. They did the weird language version, not the English version, which was like I wish they would have done the English language version, but
cheap.
The orchestra was awesome. They had a full choir to do a bunch of vocals through like pretty much half the songs, and then they had a big screen up. And between every song, there was like almost like an audio log that talked about like basically kind of like summarizing the events in the games with the actual it was all Japanese voice actors, but it was really cool to have kind of that element. And then during the songs, they had wholly original and unique video playing that wasn't necessarily like scenes in the game, but it's just kind of like abstract things to just kind of enhance the music.
Yeah,
it was awesome. I would say check it out if you can, but as far as we know, this is the only tour, and it's over at this point.
What the bitch?
But what is sweet is this fall, they're doing a Final Fantasy VII remake orchestra, which is also going to be conducted by Arnie Roth and the same orchestra, I believe. So that's sweet. I expect that one to sell out immediately, so I hope I can get tickets. The closest one to me is Chicago again, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, so that was pretty cool
this time.
What?
Pick me up this time.
Oh, yeah. You have to drive down or something. But besides that, I did play a little bit more Yakuza 0.
Yeah!
I still not necessarily loving the combat, but I ended up realized that I could turn down the difficulty, which no shame. I put the game on easy, and I'm having significantly less issues, and I feel like I've gotten the hang of the combat itself, so that is what it is. But the stories, the side stories and whatnot are a lot of fun. Like I was thinking, just because I wasn't liking the combat so much, I just probably like power through the game, but I'm having a lot of fun doing all the side stories. They're weird. Some of them are hilarious. Like, it's all over the place.
That's what I like about it. Like, the game goes from being like super serious to just off the wall ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, the main story is stoic, totally.
Yeah, it's like
straight faced.
These are hardened Yakuza under like living, in traditional Japanese society. And then
like, fuck, I'm gonna go.
And then the next thing you're going hanging out at this racetrack, racing RC cars, and like like the celebrations and yeah, like you have to see it because it's hilarious. Like, I mean, I had racing the little RC cars, like it was fine, but like the thing that kept me going is seeing like Kiryu's like, how proud he was with his little car when he wins a race. Like, he's just so proud. And when you lose, like you can see the pain in his soul. Like, it's hilarious. Absolutely.
Emotion. It's a very emotionally driven game, man.
Yeah.
Was that about racing though? Did you say something about you're gonna race me? We're gonna go through the whole series?
Yeah.
All right. Challenge accepted. Let's go.
Let's push it. But
Win static over here.
I usually won't start a game and shelve it for a little bit, but I felt like I needed to do that with Yakuza 0 because February is Cartridge Club's game of the month is Bloodborne, and even though I played it a couple years ago, I am playing it again.
Last year?
What's that?
Wasn't it like
beginning of 2018 is when I played Bloodborne? So I think it's.
I thought it was the end of 2018. Okay.
Beginning. So I think it's kind of funny that I'm playing at the beginning of 2020. But yeah, so it's Cartridge Club Game of the Month, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say or I can say. I'm not sure, but somebody might be hosting the CC Prime episode. So I needed to play some Bloodborne, and I would love it if for anybody listening, any of my friends play along. That'd be a lot of fun. Get some conversations going. If nothing else,
do it.
I'll be tweeting about it, and I encourage anybody who uses Discord to join the Cartridge Club Discord. It's actually pretty neat. I've been using Discord to chat with my friends, like use voice chat when we played PC games online, but never really used it as like kind of like a social media tool. And I've been having some fun. There's a lot of different threads on the Cartridge Club Discord, like Game of the Month. There's general chat, like VR chat. There's Nintendo and PlayStation, and they got like books and comic books, like all different topics, and it's a lot of fun. So join up Discord if you have any interest, and then you can conversate there with the Game of the Month Discord.
Koreans.
Yeah. So I just started Bloodborne. I've talked about it quite a bit before, and I'll save most of the talk for the Cartridge Club podcast. But I do want to say that I'm playing New Game Plus, which I've never actually played New Game Plus in any From Software game, and it's pretty interesting because, like, especially the first area of Bloodborne, like I just like rolled through it, just dominating everything. I was like one-hitting everything. Things are starting to get a little more challenging now, and the bosses you still can't you still got to be semi-careful, but I just beat the Blood-Starved Beast again, which a lot of people say is one of the hardest bosses in the game, and I still kind of like face rolled him, but maybe that's just, maybe I'm just the boss like that. I don't know.
These cheats.
Anyways, enough about what I've been up to. What have you been up to?
Nothing. It's Ken.
What?
Actually,
not this shit again.
Keeping with my like I said, I don't really do resolutions, but I said I wanted to kind of follow through and finish a couple of games that I started. I mainly said started last year because I was about halfway through Trover, halfway through a couple other games. But I went back to a game that I started 4.5 years ago, and it was the reason I bought my Xbox One. It was Witcher 3. I was literally at the end game with only a couple side things left to do, and I shelved it. And I'm pretty sure I shelved it because of Batman. Arkham Knight came out, so and I just never went back to it.
You give me crap all the time about not playing Witcher 3.
Yeah.
You beat it.
I played more of it than you did.
That is true.
Yeah. Because I said I wanted to just have a conversation on it. But I was something like 120 hours into it when I stopped playing it. So I extensively played it. And it was actually kind of funny.
So you were like right at the end, weren't you?
Yeah. I was literally like at this part where it's like, talk to me and we'll go to the end game battle, basically. And I was like, cool. And yeah, I had like a couple side things to do. I basically played it all day one day, and I did all this side shit that I wanted to do. I'm still missing a couple Gwent cards, and I didn't do all the races because I don't really like races. I did a couple, but yeah, it was funny how many achievements I was popping that I was so close to getting. I think I like doubled my gamer score in the game in like that little bit that I played. It was kind of funny. Yeah, I played it most of the day, so the end game stuff took a couple hours, but also a couple hours of just little side shit I was doing and kind of getting a feel for the game. And I don't know what I was trying to do. I don't know if I was planning something, but I had so many like attribute points that were just sitting there doing nothing. I was like, what the fuck, bro? I guess I'll invest some of these. So yeah, I had like, starting up, I had like 30 something attribute points just sitting around doing nothing. I was like, all right. So I just upped everything and steamrolled the shit out of that end game part. So
nice.
Excellent end of the story. And funny thing, I think it's another thing that kind of got me to kind of bump it up on the list was I got the add-ons for like $4 or something. And the one add-on is I don't know if it's the amount of content, but the map is like the same as the main game map.
Blood into Wine.
Yeah, not Blood and Wine. I think it's the other one.
There's another one?
Yeah, Blood and Wine and Dark.
I don't know. There's another one.
Dark something. What is it called? Yeah, I can't remember the. I'm gonna remember it one of these days.
Anyways,
yeah, so I'll be probably jumping into that sooner or later because that end of the game was really well. Like I remembered everything, so it wasn't like really rusty on it. Like I remembered most of the stuff was kind of like muscle memory, so that was cool. But yeah, I want to find out what Gwent cards I'm missing and look at what I got, and then go for the rest of those, and then probably go get, because I know the one, I think you play a lot of Gwent in it too, so I want to do all that. So I'll probably be jumping back into that kind of back and forth with another couple of games. But I haven't played anything since then, really. I've actually been coming to terms with owning way too much collectible crap. I've kind of touched on it a little bit before that, I've had to build another shelf. Well, the game room's becoming to the point where anything that's not a game pretty much has to go to make room for games.
You had to build a bigger game room by the sounds of it.
This game room is literally floor to ceiling games on 3.25 of the 4 walls.
Is it in the ceiling too?
What?
Don't you have stuff in the ceiling technically?
Not games in the ceiling. But yeah, there's a lot of shit right up to the ceiling. Yeah, collectibles are in the ceiling. There's like mezzanine signs and some Funkos and rando boxes for shit. But yeah, quite a few fucking games. I'm very close to 4,000 games, and yeah, there's not stop buying games or get rid of some games isn't the option, obviously. So I've had to exile most of my collectibles. And that meant exiling it to the outside of the room, which was all my other collections of stuff, which is like Transformers, superhero action figures, Legos, comics. So yeah, I collect way too much crap, and I had to kind of pick my favorites. I got, I think I had it last. Did I get that since the last episode?
What's that?
My glass display cabinet.
Yes.
Okay, I talked about it on the last episode. Well, yeah, I got that, and then my friend hooked me up with another free one. It's a wall mount one. I filled that up, which actually left me room to get rid of a bookcase that's in the game room, so that basically frees up a little kind of portion of a wall for some more shelving. And yeah, slowly getting there, but the basement's dialed in, but the game room still has a bit of crap that needs to be kind of shuffled around a bit, and I think it'll be good. Until I can build shelves, it's going to be a little awkward, but I think I can get it like really close to set up. So to get my other glass cabinets, I got to wait till April because the shipping was literally the cost of the cabinets themselves, and I'd rather not pay double price because I couldn't wait 2 months. So that's what's going to go on.
Any IKEAs in?
Closest one is Winnipeg, which is 4 hours away.
Okay.
I didn't think to go there when I was there a couple months ago, but also I didn't really exactly have the plan I do now.
Make a day of it.
I basically have that's what you said about coming down to Minneapolis. I was like, I'm going down for MGC beginning of April. I can wait till then. I'll basically have like a swappable plan, like what I've got set up where I plan to put them now is going to be easy to rotate out and then continue my plan. So I've got like a 4-step plan. And so far, so good.
Sweet.
So yeah, it's not much about games, but that's about when I'm more comfortable in this room, and it's not like one of those slide puzzles where there's that small space.
Tetris?
No, the slide puzzles. You know, where it's like those things get it, where there's a small space and you got to rearrange it to make the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that now where I'm like, I want to film something in this corner. Okay, now I've got to take half an hour and move all this shit. Okay, now I got to get room for my lights to come in here. Now I got to do this. So I'd rather not do that. I'd rather be able to come in, sit down, make a video, come in, sit down, play a game, and not have to shuffle shit around because it's bugging me to no end. And that's pretty much the reason why I haven't played much games, because I want the convenience back, because the convenience I had before is not present right now. So
if you did videos with the nugget in the background, that could make for an interesting backdrop. You know, if you got people like dragging people across the sidewalk.
Yeah, but I don't really want to do a pickup video because then I'll just get stabbed, and then my stuff I picked up I'll have to refire when I get out of the hospital.
I'll steal it.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know what the nugget is,
it's a really shitty. It's basically like the asshole of the town I live in. It's this hotel that's got a pawn shop, and it's run by the shiftiest dude. And anybody that goes there, I automatically think less of them because I just assume that they're on meth. And it's a really rough thing. Like,
he's got lots of interesting stories. I've seen pictures.
I deliver for Domino's, and literally, you go out the back door of Domino's where my car stays, and it's right there, and you could watch it like terrible reality TV show, just fights, people yelling at each other, someone passed out, and then someone much smaller than them trying to drag that person to get them off the road or the sidewalk, or always something. Police basically just drive around in circles through the alley there, just making the rounds. It's a delightful little place. And people were telling me forever, he's got video games in there, you should go check him out. And I was like, rather not. But yeah, one time a guy I work with at Domino's was like, hey, let's go there and see what's over there. I was like, okay, you can stand behind me, so if someone was to stab me, they get you instead. And yeah, he had some game stuff, but it was probably, hotter than a cast iron skillet, so no dice. Yeah, randomly one time, like, I don't know the guy at all, but he like came out and it was like, oh, do you work on Xboxes and PS4s and all that kind of stuff? And I was like, kind of like a hobby. And he literally just gave me some shit, like some controllers. All these don't work. This doesn't work. And I was like, oh, I thought he was just gonna try and like, hey, you like that kind of stuff? Come over. I thought he was trying to make some sales, and he just gave me like a bag of shit. So turns out all the controllers worked. The crackheads that own them or whatever must not have known about the sync button. So all of those worked. Yeah, some of them just had to be put back together. The PS4, I know the problem with it is pretty fixable, but I don't have any room in here to work on it or time. And the Xbox One was pretty much the same idea. I just needed to do some quick, like, kind of reset thing on it to get it working. Yeah, they're sitting right outside the room, getting ready to be worked on.
Nice.
But yeah, sad story about the Nugget. That's yeah, it's a colorful place. If you want to maybe get a game deal or pawn off some stuff, get some extra bucks, or maybe get killed or hooked on drugs, it's the place for you.
See.
Yeah.
I guess then we can use that as our segue here of speaking of a shit show.
Warcraft 3?
Warcraft 3 Reforged. We
pains me to say that and make that segue. Speaking of the Nugget, Warcraft 3.
Like, I guess honestly at this point, I keep saying this. I've said this online. I've said it to other friends. Is that like we all need to remember the Blizzard that we knew and love is dead and gone, and this is Activision Blizzard, and they're going to fuck up everything.
Did you have like a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman freak out with your with your Blizzard display of like your little shrine there? Did you?
I still have it. It's still a dedication to a golden era,
like a lost friend. It's like a vigil now
of better times. It's gone.
Although I would think that would be an amazing cut too. I just picture that Catwoman freak out. Smashed your hello there sign so it says hell here.
I think the worst part about this whole Warcraft 3 Reforged debacle is just a couple years ago they put out StarCraft HD, and that was awesome. Like, that was perfect. They upped the models. They used like basically like the StarCraft 2 models, and they upped the textures, used like the StarCraft 2 textures. And it was the exact same game. Nothing changed. Nothing promised. They said, "This is what we're doing. This is what you get." And
was it free anyway?
It wasn't free.
Oh, they made the original free. That's right.
Yeah,
that's what they did. I remembered something being free.
So I guess for anybody who hasn't heard, Warcraft 3 is, you've probably heard of World of Warcraft. That's the MMO. Warcraft originally was an RTS game, just kind of like StarCraft or Command and Conquer. Warcraft 3 is an awesome game. It's one of my favorite. I mean, all old Blizzard games are my favorite games because they're all amazing. And Warcraft 3 was so good. So many cool things. If it wasn't for Warcraft 3, we wouldn't have Dota, Defender of the Ancients, now owned by Valve with Dota 2. But this was supposed to be an HD remaster, and they said they were going to change up the cutscenes instead of just making them like the static,
shiny and new.
The scene, it wasn't just like it's more like what you see in StarCraft 2 compared to StarCraft 1, where no camera angle changes, where Warcraft 3 did some of that because the models were a little bit better. But this was supposed to be like all new, like cinematic cut, like almost in-game cutscenes, and they didn't do any of that. Like, that's what everyone was like, oh crap, that looks awesome. And they didn't do that. Apparently the game doesn't run great, And one of the worst things about it is the terms of service agreement, which is halfway not surprising that they said basically anything you do with our mod tools, we own, because they don't want another Dota slipping out of their hands, I guess.
Do that.
But then at the same time, because they're going iron fist with this ownership, you can't use anything that has like a copyrighted name. So there was previous mods that was like Super Mario Brothers. You know, it's not like a licensed thing. There was no money transaction. There's just people making fun mods in a game, in a browsable service, and now you can't do any of that. So there's a handful of like legendary Warcraft 3 mods that were inspired by other things. Yeah, sure, you can change the name, but
takes the spirit and the fun out of it.
Yeah, and it's just really dickish on their behalf. And apparently, when people are asking about refunds, they're banning them from their forums. And
whoa, it's more than dickish. That's vinegar dickish.
Yeah. So, no. As much as I guess we shouldn't be surprised, but
oh, Activision.
Yeah.
New EA. Not that they were ever amazing.
Yeah. It's just too bad. Hopefully they fix this. I was excited for it. I actually pre-ordered it, even though it was a digital thing, because there was also some like, you know, you get like a Diablo 3 pet and some extra crap and other Blizzard games if I ever decide to go back and play them and stuff like that.
So what you're saying is you got suckered by your nostalgia.
I guess I got suckered by the lies that they spewed.
Evil.
Even though if they would have said, "Hey, we're just upping the models and whatnot," I'd be like, "Cool, okay, sweet." But they lied, and apparently it's like buggy too. Where like I've seen screenshots where some people's games like only half the models were like the new like high res ones, and there's still like the old models showing up. And apparently the areas, like the land and stuff, all those textures like haven't been upgraded or something. I haven't even checked it out just because I heard it was a mess.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. So I hope they do the right thing and they fix it, because I would love to play Warcraft 3 again. It's been some years. I used to play the heck out of it. I played a lot of it online. I played some online tournaments a few times. Didn't get anywhere, but you know, I was pretty into Warcraft 3 for a little bit there. And then, of course, Dota, the original Dota, I probably put a good 100 hours into just that mod. Like, those good times. Good times, man.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
You know, this is a good 3 game. Yakuza 3, and if you work through 0, 1, and 2, you do 2, man.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I just have to play 300-hour games.
Do it. Sounds like fun to me.
I mean, it would be fun.
300 hours of video games? What are you going to do? Go to work for 300 hours and avoid it? It's lame.
You
take off your time, man. You're not at work right now.
You make a solid argument there.
Yeah, man.
Well, we shall see. But there is a couple things that I want to play. A couple new DLCs that got released.
Yeah.
Code Vein finally put out its first bit of DLC called Hell Knight, which is... I don't know the finer details, but they said there's story content. So I believe there's probably going to be like a mission kind of deal that you go on. And there's some extra boss fights. They had added in a new weapons, new armors, which I think it was kind of lacking in that regard. I think there could have been maybe more just aesthetic items.
Okay.
There's lots of weapons, but the armor seemed kind of limited. And for me anyways, I basically used the same armor the entire game.
Okay, was it upgradable?
Yes, you can upgrade it.
Okay, that's cool. I haven't played it yet, but I got it
Super good.
like right after Christmas when everything was going on sale.
It is great.
Fuck up. Oh wait, was it Black Friday?
I'm
No,
not
I
sure.
don't think it was Black Friday. I don't know. Whenever I got all that shit, go back to previous podcasts and check it out if you want to know for sure, and then let me know. Because I don't know when I bought shit. It's just a blur of buying shit all the time.
I would assume there is a cost for this DLC. I don't know for certain, but it's not Bandai Namco, so I'm guessing it's probably like $10-$20 or something.
Okay,
but I'm sure it's cool.
It's got story con. I hate when a DLC is just like a challenge mode.
Yeah, it's challenge missions and crap.
Yeah, challenges and I don't know, high score shit and stuff that you could just do on your own without having to pay for it. Yeah.
Or it could be DLC for a game like Beat Saber, which isn't a story mode, but it's just more content to play. Beat Saber just released another music pack, Camellia, which has 3 songs. Haven't had a chance to play those yet. I just tried firing up Beat Saber a week ago or so.
Did you hurt yourself?
Didn't. I did not.
So you still not rusty?
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. I wasn't able to do as well, and for some reason, my tracking just was seeming like garbage. For some reason, like
blame the tracking.
It was rough. It was really rough.
We think of Jaw Dogs. Don't blame the controller.
Jaw Dogs.
I showed our friend Chris that he'd never seen it. I was like, I can't believe I failed you as a friend. Now.
Tell our audience what that is now.
Jaw Dogs is it's a college humor skit. Sketch about the off-brand controller that you give your friend when they come over, and just like basically a dig on Mad Cats and the like, and all of it's just this hilarious. Like it's not a wired controller when everyone else has wireless. And then for some reason he has to pull out like an antenna, like an old phone, old cordless phone. And as soon as he turns on the light, it like blinds him, and it's you hear a piece of something inside it rattling around, and it's got turbo, and it fucking doesn't even let him go anything, and it drifts to the left. It's just it's complete garbage control. And then like anytime he complains, they're just like, quit blaming the controller.
Just look up Jaw Dogs, and it's DAWGZ.
Because it's the cool way to spell dogs.
JAW, Jaw Dogs. It's funny.
We reference it a lot, I think, when we're talking. Not so much on the podcast, but yeah. Like one of my favorite sketches.
Yeah. But new Beat Saber content. That's always great. And then we got a pretty cool game announcement. If anybody is familiar with the studio The Behemoth, I hope everybody is. At least for Castle Crashers and Alien Hominid. They had a couple other games that...
Good band, too.
Sure, yeah. Unrelated, unfortunately. But the Behemoth just announced what they're calling Game 5, and it's actually Alien Hominid Invasion. Not really much for details on that, but...
I still need to get a copy of the first one. I played it back in the day, but it was a sweet game.
Yeah,
matches is timeless.
Yeah. Alien Hominid. If people don't know what that is, it's like kind of an early indie game that was released on GameCube and PlayStation 2. They were an indie studio. It's done like one of the early hand-drawn art style games. It's very reminiscent of early days of Newgrounds, which is
Flash games.
The Behemoth is comprised of Newgrounds folks, Tom Fulp, and I forget actually who else is involved.
Julia Louise-Dreyfus, I think.
Sure.
I'm just throwing names.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty neat. Hopefully this is a substantial game. The last couple games are kind of like smaller deals, like more...
Well, they're like indies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's pretty much all that's really been announced that really caught my eye lately.
Mm.
Weird thing is, like, any of the news things I felt like talking about wasn't even games, but was game related.
That works.
It was all about shows. Like we previously talked about the Dragon Quest movie, Your Story.
Yeah.
They mentioned that it was coming to Netflix. We now know that it's coming out the day before Valentine's Day. So
Perfect.
If you don't got a date, that's your date. Awesome.
If I got a date, I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my date watch it.
I don't know if I can make my fiance watch it, but maybe she will.
We can pretend. Maybe one of those movies where you watch it, but you're actually not watching it. You're on your phone.
Hey.
And speaking of cool shit on Netflix, The Witcher that we gushed about. Was the last episode or the episode before?
Yeah, 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, well, time flies when we're having fun. But yeah, it's getting a spinoff, an animated spinoff. Apparently an anime spinoff, actually. And it's going to be following more of Geralt's mentor, Vesemir, while he undergoes his own Witcher training.
I know nothing of that story.
There you go. I don't either.
Games?
Well, he's in the games, but he's not. He's like just like he's just an old dude. You're already a Witcher, so I haven't played Witcher 1 because Witcher 1's only on PC, but I played Witcher 2.
Is it really?
3. Yeah.
I didn't know it was only PC.
Yeah, they mentioned that when Witcher 2 came out and it was pretty popular, they were mentioning that they were going to be. I could swear they announced that they were going to bring Witcher 1 to like consoles too, but it just never really happened. I guess it was just too awkward to do, but yeah. I've never played The Witcher 1, but luckily I didn't really feel like I missed a whole lot. Jumping into Witcher 2 kind of just filled it in. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent games, both of them. And so that's pretty cool. Be cool to find out more about the world without kind of splitting off the story too much from Geralt and his adventures. Be like a nice, cool side story.
Yeah.
Yeah. The end of that game just really didn't disappoint. I can't. Now I can totally shame you for not at least playing the regular Witcher 3. And you know what? The combat always rip on. It wasn't so bad at the end. Yeah.
Sure.
When I went back to it, I guess I enjoyed it more. I don't know, because I just wasn't feeling it. Some stuff I was just still kind of but I don't know. Maybe I just needed to use some of those upgrade points and would have enjoyed it more. I don't know, but yeah, it seemed pretty cool when I went back to it. And the third thing is another animated thing.
What?
I'm just all about these cartoons, man. But Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge. I'm not too wowed by the animation style, but the story looks cool. I love my Mortal Kombat.
Looks like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, looks pretty Mortal Kombat-y.
It is better. The animation is better than the Mortal Kombat Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, yeah. It's not very hard to do that.
But it's I'd say it's very comparable to a lot of the I don't have a better description of like adult animations or cartoons, because that just makes it sound like it's porn, but like stuff like Dead Space Downfall or
drawings. Yeah.
But it made me think of like Dead Space Downfall, or there's like a comic book animated movie Lady Death, and like some of the DC.
Yeah, it's kind of in line with that.
No, it's definitely American animation.
It's not anime. It's not. Yeah, it's not. Like, it's not blocky like a lot of the animation seems to be, but it's kind of like middle of the road. I would say. Yeah, so it's serviceable. It's not highly detailed, but it's it's not. I wouldn't call it shitty, but I'd say I'm not a huge fan.
There better be some gore in it, or I'll be very disappointed.
Goro.
Just gore.
Your favorite? Oh, yes, bloods. Yes, I want to see some bloods and some rib cage and cartilage.
X-ray moves. Like they gotta anything Mortal Kombat needs to have X-ray moves now.
It has to,
because that's awesome.
Yeah, if it's all just like, I don't know, if it's just gonna be kung fu with bruises and stuff, it's gonna be kind of lame. Yeah, it doesn't show any gore in the trailer, but I don't know. Maybe if they put out a Red Band trailer or whatever that is, where they are allowed to swear and show gore.
I feel like it's probably not gonna have.
I hope it does, because a fan of Mortal Kombat is going to be expecting that. Like, who are they making it for if they're not putting that shit in it?
Right?
Make a Street Fighter movie if you don't want to have gore in it, then you fucking.
Or maybe I wonder. It's maybe like YouTube now. YouTube's like, oh, if it's animated and it's on YouTube, obviously it's made for children. So
fuck YouTube.
Which I feel so bad for the YouTube animators right now. Like they're just getting screwed.
I feel bad for YouTube. Anyone who creates content for YouTube.
I know
I've never seen such an anti user friendly, like the people who are making your business successful, and you're like, nah, fuck you guys. We'll make it harder for you.
They made like $8 billion last year, or $16 billion or something, some ridiculous amount. So
yeah,
they don't give a shit. They're doing okay.
Those little sluts.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like, kneecapping people for coming in your store. Like, hey, thanks for coming in. You just kick them in the leg, and they're like, "Ow!" You're like, I don't know. You still want to be in here, I bet, though. So
yeah,
that's what you get. It's like, oh, okay, bummer. That being said, I'm going to try and get some more YouTube content out soon.
Nice.
Yeah, what a bummer. Anyway.
Yeah,
really had for news.
Yeah, so let's jump into the community question then, and I won't hold this against all you for we didn't get a single response to what game bummed you out the most about getting delayed on the last episode, but
because our audio probably bummed them out so much they couldn't listen to the whole fucking episode to get to the question.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. So I don't blame you.
Blame you though.
Blame me totally. Comment wherever you feel like commenting, and
leave a boo.
Bad.
Leave a boo down below. Just write boo.
Yeah, just boo.
As many O's as you see fit.
And then when I forget that we said that, and I like upload the podcast and check the comments a couple days later, it's like, what's going on? No.
I cannot wait. You have kind of bad memories, so that'll be hilarious if you.
Yeah.
What's going on? What did we say? Did we say something controversial?
And we get the one boo earns.
Yeah.
Now this has to happen because I need that boo earns.
Come on, boo us.
Anyways, so for community question for next,
your boos mean nothing to me. I've seen what you cheer for. So Rick and Morty.
Yes. So community question for next week, related to what we were just talking about. What are some of your favorite gaming related anime or animated movies or shows? There's some good stuff out there.
Yeah, there's also some shit.
A lot. Most.
Well, not as many shitty animated things as there are
live action.
Yeah, live action.
Definitely way.
Well, we could still answer the question from last week because that's usually what we do.
Well, we already told them what we were bummed out about getting delayed.
What are you bummed? I don't remember what you said though.
Last of Us, Final Fantasy VII, Cyberpunk, all of them. Most, I guess. Most is a tough one. It's either Final Fantasy VII Remake or Last of Us 2, because I want to play those immediately and then be bummed out that they're done, and then I'm going to want more.
Especially because Final Fantasy VII is an episodic.
Yeah, which I know there's a lot of people that are still upset about that. I'm fine with it. I get it. I really do.
I just hope them putting the framework down and getting the first episode out
Yeah.
that they're able to do the other ones, like not take 5 years to do it. I don't want to be like buying one chapter a generation.
Right. Like I mean,
Like I'll have to wait till PS6 to get like episode 3.
yeah.
And then of course they'll do a remaster on like PS6 and when it's just about on its way out, or PS7.
Yeah.
It'll become the new Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's just on everything.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I guess I'll update that because Skyrim's the new Resident Evil 4.
Right.
And it'll be the new Skyrim or Resident Evil 4.
I mean,
Good games are worth buying over. I don't know.
sure. What are you bummed most about?
Cyberpunk easily.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about that, but
I know I was pretty vocally mad about it. So if it wasn't obvious, like I said, I would have been more bummed out about Final Fantasy, but it was only a couple of weeks when it's already been pushed back a bunch, and we've already waited years and years for it. It's like, it's almost like a drop in the bucket now. But I was actually more bummed out because it was like coming out the week before Cyberpunk was supposed to come out. It's like, and then Cyberpunk got pushed like 5 months. So that's why that hurt more, because 5 weeks is not as long to wait compared to 5 months.
yeah. Or you could be like Last of Us 2, where they're like, hey, it's going to be released in April, and then the next day they're like, psych, May.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like a month. Like a month isn't so bad, but like half the year. I mean, I objectively looking at it, it's not that big of a deal either way. Because like we usually say, it doesn't really bum us out that much because we know they're improving the game, or hopefully, you'd assume that's what they.
I mean, Cyberpunk's been like, man.
Cyberpunk, they said it's done. It's done. They're just like getting the bugs out because they don't want to release a buggy piece of shit. So respect.
But it's been like
that's cool.
2012 or something when they first announced it. Like, man, I remember that first the original teaser for it.
If it's anything close to Witcher 3, fucking worth it, man.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Absolutely.
Speaking of which, should play Witcher 3. It's a pretty good game. I think that's another thing. I was just like, I need some CD Projekt Red now. So I was like, well, I might as well catch up on their last game they put out.
Sure.
While I'm waiting. And yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm most bummed about that, is because it's the longest pushback, and I think it is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Because I know the kind of care and quality they put into their games, but I'm not saying that everyone else doesn't.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but like I said, objectively looking at it, that's one collector's edition I don't have to buy before or directly after MGC. That's cool because I won't have any money right after MGC, I'm sure.
Right.
My Final Fantasy VII's already paid off, so I don't need to worry about that.
Yep.
But, I do have Doom coming out, and I'm getting the collector's edition for that. So that's my 3 collector's editions that I plan on for the year anyway.
Until you get more.
We'll see what else arrives, but those are the ones that I was sold on since E3.
Until the next cool one gets announced.
Until there's like something to do with Batman, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that sucks about being a collector of multiple fucking things is like
I don't.
That's why I had to
quit collecting things.
That's why I quit Magic cards, and I kind of scaled back on other shit.
Quit all the things you quit the thing that takes the least amount of space.
You don't know how much Magic cards I have. Don't even go there, bud. It was a fucking lot. But that being said, that takes up just as much of the session as games. Like it was, and it, out of all the stuff, it seems like the worst investment. As much as I love playing Magic, don't jump on me, MTG fans. But yeah, it just seemed like the worst investment because you just finally get the cards that you want. The next set's already been out for a month. Fucking
supposed to expire.
They got a shelf life of like a year and a half now before they're like not playable and regular play. And you're like, I'm like, wow, so why am I buying these? Why don't I just rent these? Why don't they have like a card rental service? Because they're gonna be, I don't know.
No, you gotta buy their loot boxes.
Fuck that shit.
Which are basically what their card packs are. It's
mechanics, yeah. Well, that's what those playable card games, like that's what I the draw of it was to me at first. Like, obviously, out of all those games, the art on their cards are like the best, and like, you know, you can use a couple of most of these cards.
Mhm.
So it's not like other ones where you like get one, you're like, I already got this one. Bullshit, I don't need another one, you know. So but then it got to the amount that I had, and then I like went to play, and they're like, oh, you can't even use any of these cards anymore. It's, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I had cards going back to like the beginning, like first edition, and
I quit during Mirage or no, Tempest.
that's a fucking long time ago.
Yeah, I quit. I quit playing Magic like 20 years ago, and I played for a few years.
The funny thing is, I quit a couple times, but then like some of my friends would like pick it up and get into it. Oh man, you ever played it? Oh fuck! And I'd have to like whip out the hockey bag and a half of like fucking cards I had. I'm not actually in a hockey bag. But when I sold it in a hockey bag and then a box. So that's why I always say that. But it was like when I revealed to my wife that I was she when we first got together, like X-Men 3 was coming out. We saw the commercial, and she was all like, oh, I don't want to sound like I'm probably gonna think I'm a good nerd, but I really want to see that new X-Men movie. And I was like, oh, you think that's nerdy? And I was like, I'll be right back. And I went up into my old bedroom, and I came back with a long box of comics. And she's like, oh, sweet, you like comics too? And I was like, hey, hold on. And I came back like 6 more times with like 6 more long boxes of comics. Like, yeah, I like it. That whole box, and that whole box is all X-Men. So
Then you guys got married.
you don't think I'm a bit nerdy? Yeah. Luckily, we moved out when we did, because that basement flooded like fucking summer after we bought our house. Would have lost all them comics.
Yeah.
Or at least the boxes, because they were all bagged. So maybe not. Would have been an ordeal to dry those shits out, though. But anyway, like before the tangent, yeah, I don't know. I don't need to be buying all these huge collector's editions when I don't have space, but yeah, I'm trying to be choosy, because the only ones I really like are the ones that come with a giant statue or a helmet or some shit.
Yeah.
I'll have to wear the Doom Guy helmet around while I deliver pizzas or something to feel like I got my money's worth.
Good.
Hey, at least you can wear that helmet. It's not like the Helmet 11 collector's edition. Just, you get to wear the Scorpion mask. Bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's about half the price of it too. So
Yeah.
It's made it sound like I don't like Mortal Kombat. I do, but that was a ridiculous collector's edition.
Pass. Bastards. Really upset me with that one. But anyways, speaking of collector's editions, we don't have any collector's editions coming out in the next couple weeks, but there are some games coming out in the next couple weeks.
You gonna buy any of them?
Probably not.
What up?
I think about it for a couple of them.
This guy here.
I mean, you'd mentioned Grand Blue Fantasy Versus.
Yeah. And I don't know. We'll see if it's any good. I played a bit of it at E3, and I thought it was kind of cool.
The anime fighting games, or these ones, like Grand Blue and makes me think of Blast Blue and Guilty Gear. Like those games look like graphically, like they're gorgeous.
Yeah, like when I was at E3, I even sent you the picture. Like it was the one where they edited me into the game where I was fighting some chick from the game, but I probably would have lost because I don't hit women. I didn't have any armor or weapons or sweet moves. They just had fucking camo cargo shorts and a t-shirt on, and she had a sword and armor. So I don't think that was going to go very well. But yeah, it seemed pretty fun. I don't know how many characters if it has more characters than the demo I played, I think it'd be cooler, because there was only about 6 characters when I played it. So yeah. I'm sure there's more than 6, because come on, this isn't like 1994 anymore.
Right. Yakuza 5.
The Yakuza collection. Physical, if you've been waiting, 3, 4, and 5. This time 5 is available in North America. Comes out on the 11th. So stoked because I can finally say I own every single Yakuza game, including Japan only games, which before they announced this, I was actually going to import a copy of 5 and just kind of read a translation thing to get me through it. But now I don't have to. But yeah, I do have the 2 spin-off games and the PSP games and shit, so I'll be so stoked to finally be able to lay claim to owning every Yakuza game. There's also a really cool game I'm not seeing a lot talked about, but it's called Dreams. It's made by the same people who make Little Big Planet.
If you listen to Easy Allies, they're hyped about it.
And Tearaway. There's why you trying to divert traffic away from our podcast, man? And yeah, it's like a game you can make all types of games in it. So
yeah,
I always love super creative games where you can like create like all like RPG Maker and
this like you can make. I mean, you can make whatever.
Yeah, it looks limitless, and yeah, I've been hearing almost nothing about it until like I just happened upon it. I was like, what the hell is this? Holy shit! It comes out on Valentine's Day, and I've barely heard. Like I've seen a couple like brief things about it, but I would just think it was like some kind of indie game.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard anything like explain what it is. It's like Dreams, like, oh yeah, it's just some pretty looking indie game. I would have just thought it was like some kind of platformer game or something. Just looking at the trailer, if you don't, the trailer even barely tells you what it does until it like about halfway through when it shows people like sculpting things and making characters and crap. It looks amazing. So I'm stoked to check that out.
Yeah.
The Dark Crystal game just came out too.
Yeah.
Age Resistance.
I haven't heard anything about it yet, but I haven't had the time to watch any reviews or anything.
I've heard it's pretty simplistic if you play tactics games.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like entry level tactics. So
sure,
I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you're a huge tactics RPG player, you might find it kind of boring.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those in the eye of the beholder things.
I didn't realize that Daemon X Machina was coming to PC. I'm assuming Steam, but apparently that's coming to Steam or PC or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's coming to PS4 at this point too.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so it's the limited exclusive for Switch. So I'll probably wait till if it does come out on PS4. I'll probably just wait till PS4, because honestly, if it's available on anything other than Switch, I'd probably prefer it on like PS4.
Sure.
I'm kind of like seems like the reverse of everyone else. Everyone's like, oh my god, it's on Switch.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, it's on something not Switch.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do like my Switch, but we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
I'd rather play something that's not going to have trouble playing it.
Right.
You never know what the performance issues it's going to have. And honestly, I just like playing shit on PS4 more than even with my Switch hooked up to the TV.
Sure.
I don't know. I just like it more. It's my preference. Zombie Army 4 Dead War is out. That looks cool.
Yeah.
Made by the Sniper Elite dudes and dudettes.
Yep. Darksiders Genesis, which was one that I'm interested in, but I haven't like committed to it.
Yeah.
It's basically Diablo, but with Darksiders.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I only got to play a few seconds of it, but it was, yeah. As you know, I like Darksiders, and I like, isometric dungeon crawler games. So hypes are pretty hyped up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it doesn't disappoint.
Then we got also pretty neat, the Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th anniversary bundle, which is, I don't think they're remastered necessarily. I think they're just probably scaled to fit like better HDTV.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what from stuff from last gen. I don't know if all they really have to do is polish it.
But it comes in a nice steel book.
Yeah.
With both games.
Yeah. I've had it pre-ordered since it went up, and can't wait. I really want to play Vanquish again.
Yeah, and I never played Vanquish, and I heard it was really cool. It's action, Shinji Mikami. It's a Resident Evil guy making an action game about dudes in like enhanced like suits.
Yeah, it was cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was like almost like a third-person bullet hell type game. It was fucking cool. I haven't played it in a long time, but I've got it for the 360 and absolutely loved it. So can't wait to play that again. Something else got pushed back. I don't know why, like another week. It was supposed to be coming out the same day. It was the Mega Man Zero and ZX collection.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about. And those are like the sort of like Metroidvania games, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah, they're just like
Or is that like
they're like Mega Man X-ish type stuff. I don't know if it's exactly.
I think because maybe that was the handheld ones or something like the BattleNet.
This handheld, BattleNet's more
I think
of
those
an RPG. Yeah, they're like a strategy RPG.
Yeah. I was looking at this and I think it's only Switch, right?
No, I've got it pre-ordered for PS4, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's out on everything.
Thinking about it.
They're GBA and DS games.
Oh yeah, I see. That's only $30 too, so that's like
all those collections are so worth it. Any of those games them on their own is probably $30. Well, now Mega Man. His games usually hold value. But so I don't think I actually own any of those games. If it was actually like the ones we were talking about, like the RPG ones, I own a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
But they were kind of pulling a Pokemon with that, where they come out with like, there'd be like a blue and a white version of that shit, and you're like, what the fuck? So like I was for the longest time I was confused to which ones I even had out of that series. I'm like, is this the same game? Is this got different characters like Pokemon? Like I had to like research it to go, oh, do I just have two of this basically the same game?
Yeah. So I mean, there's some stuff coming out in the next couple weeks. So
yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, and I got some cool shit coming in the mail. Did another trade with Nintendo. I'm stoked on. Can't wait till that shit gets here.
For sure.
Cool pickups locally, which is a dwindling thing that doesn't seem to happen very often anymore.
Yeah.
So,
well, besides pickups, what you gonna be playing in the next couple weeks?
Shit, playing some Tidy Up.
I guess that's
I'm always all over the damn place. I want to play some Bloodborne, but I don't know if I'm gonna. Might have to pick up the slack of the Game Tenants and play some Yakuza 0 again, since it's revisiting stuff month. Just kidding. That's just me throwing unneeded shit. But I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air.
Okay.
I've got a different project in the works that might kind of have a little bit of a say in what I play. More on that coming soon. But yeah, I want to hit the backlog, but that's a struggle I've been having. Is I'm having a trouble keeping up with current gen stuff that the older stuff that I really want to play, and I'm collecting like I'm playing the shit out of it.
I mean,
falls by the wayside.
Give you the responsible answer here, but you don't want to hear it.
What's that? Play Bloodborne?
I was gonna say stop buying so many games, but why would we do that? What's the fun of that? Come on.
Why would you disable my addiction like that? Come on, man. Stop buying so many games. Come on, this guy here. Come on.
Well, like I said, I could say
okay, that. I'm asking you to comment below with some extra booze after that. Universally panned comment. No, I like buying games though. So fuck you.
Do that.
I like options.
Yes. You got a few. Got a few options.
I got too many options. But it's one of I don't have the problem that other people seem to have.
No, I never.
I get too many games and I don't know what I want to play. I'm like,
never have that problem.
I've never been like, man. I never look around too long. That's what I mean. It'll be really random, is because I'll be just standing there and I'll look at a game and be like, this right now.
I've never had that problem ever, even when like I only owned like one game.
What game should I play? This one or not play games? Okay, this one.
Yeah, like I've always, I've never been like, oh.
Yeah, when people talk about burnout, I'm like, you get to play enough games that it burns you out.
I mean, I play a lot of games and I don't get burned.
I just want to comment like a 6-paragraph ha 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 when someone's talking about gaming burnout. You're like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You can get burned out on a single game because it's grindy or something, but gaming in general, like that game is getting boring. Stop playing that game and play another way cooler game.
It's crazy talk.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so I guess for me, of course, I'm gonna be playing more Bloodborne. I doubt I'm gonna be able to beat it in under 2 weeks, but who knows?
I thought you were one-hit killing everything, master.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like breezing through it so far. So
you're not gonna be able to beat it in 2 weeks. Why?
I said maybe, but I still really do want to try to play along with the Quick Save Club game of the month, which is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which I've never played, and I hear it's an amazing game. Like a lot of people will say it's like one of the best Western RPGs ever.
What about the portable? Yeah,
are
you playing Bloodborne in real life? You're side rolling around Link Between Worlds or what?
And Cartridge Club Portable is, as Jason said, is playing Link Between Worlds, which also I've never played. I've always wanted to play that one ever since it was released because it's basically like the follow up to Link to the Past, and like as far as Zelda goes, like that's my jam right there. I mean, Breath of the Wild, I mean it's right there too. I think for my favorite Zelda games, but
it's weird. It seems almost like it's becoming like an edgelord thing to say that you didn't like Breath of the Wild that much.
I love Wild. I don't
know. I've been seeing a lot of people be like, ugh, like one of my least favorite. You're like, okay.
Yeah, that is like the edge thing. No,
it just seems like it's been coming up a lot. Like
people are like, oh.
I mean, I get it. It was like even with how much I like Zelda, I was like, okay, I get it. Like I love the Zelda games, but even like myself, I'm like, okay, let it go a little bit. But then it seems like other people are coming out and be like, ugh, yeah, like only one I hate more is was it? I
mean, I kind of give Zelda. I kind of give Breath of the Wild a little bit of a pass because it's particularly
it's more open than the other ones because it's not like.
Not even that. Is that you gotta remember, like this is mostly like your Nintendo fanboys who only have, or I won't say Nintendo fanboys. I'll say people who primarily stick with Nintendo consoles. Mm-hmm. And if you stuck with Nintendo console, you never got to play Skyrim. So this was Skyrim for a lot of people.
Yeah,
really.
Also on the Switch, though, you can get Skyrim. It's great.
Well, now, yes, but
and you can get Zelda costumes. Speaking of Zelda.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't know. I don't understand the sudden hate, but I also, I do get, as much. I mean, obviously, I like the Link tattooed on my fucking arm, but there's a point where you're like,
you're saying Zelda Breath of the Wild, it was a bad game. Like you are an edgelord, and you should be quiet because it's not. It's not a bad game. I mean, it's a great fucking game. It's like. People saying, "Oh, Skyrim sucks." It's like
I don't know, because like I don't know. It's funny because people want the same, but they want it different at the same time, and I think that the Zelda series struggles more with that than others. That's probably why it takes so long for them to come out with a new mainline one. It's because they have to keep it. It's got to be a Zelda game, but we got to try something different, so it's not like the same. So it's got to be exactly what they want. But it's also got to be something totally different that they didn't even expect. Yeah. But they got to still like it because it's close to the other games. Yeah. And this one like took the biggest risk that the series has had in a long time. It wasn't just a gimmick.
I haven't liked Zelda. Link to the Past was the last Zelda game I liked. Like truly, I mean,
have you played them all?
I played Ocarina. It was okay. And I haven't played any of the others because,
Well, you can't like him if you don't play him. Like that's like you saying you don't like Yakuza
I can call it,
2,
though.
3, 4, 5, and 6.
Like I say, I usually call it pretty well when I look at a video game, and I'm sure they would be fine. Twilight Princess is one that I have wanted to play. I just haven't. And then, of course, like I said, Link Between Worlds. And
You know what's awesome? You have the means.
I do. Thanks to you.
Sweet bro.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I enable you to enjoy more Zelda. That's what I'm trying to do. Just like I'm trying to enable you to like more Yakuza.
Sure.
That's what I do. I don't just say try this. I say try this, and I hand it to you. There you go.
So, I think that is
about all we got to say.
Yeah. So, I will let everybody know how they can get a hold of us if they would like to, and I hope you would like to.
I hope you listen to this point even too.
Yes. So, of course, the podcast is available on SoundCloud and YouTube, which also means if you use podcast apps, you will be able to find the Game Tenants Podcast. Just look us up. If you want to get a hold of me, you can look me up on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Look up The Game Grinder, and you will find me. And Jason is available on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Look him up, Corpse Flood Gaming. Hit us up. Leave some comments.
Please
You know,
do.
that's
So
fun stuff.
lonely on social media.
You know?
Not really.
Yeah. So that is going to do it for this episode of the Game Tenants Podcast. Thank you very much for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
See you soon.